were lousy storytellers. Una-una, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I take exception dun sa sinasabi nito ni Mr. Villanueva kasi it's either incompetence or kasabwat. And I, because of the testimony of Las Cañas, kasabwat, Mr. Chairman. Ganun lang po yun.
And definitely, we have not involved anybody outside of HSOT, the team of Colonel Asierto, and my team, because this was a delicate anti-drug
Ano yan,
operation.
di ba?
Okay
So
lang po
definitely-
yan, Mr. Chairman, kung hindi mo alam. Kunyari ngayon, napag-uusapan na si Michael Yang as a drug lord. Would you accept a campaign contribution from Michael Yang? I don't think so. No? Sabi niya, they have nothing to do with illegal drugs. The only mistake of some of them was that they may have violated immigration laws in connection with their stay here. Regardless, it should have been the problem already of the Bureau of Immigration. But he had to intervene because wala na patay na Kailangan na nilang tanggal sa books. Papalabasin nila na release consistent with the story now, the lie for that matter, ni Wilkins Villanueva, Mr. Chairman.
Hearing what Mr. Las Cañas and Mr. Trillanes narratives, seemingly they were lousy storytellers. Una-una, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I take exception dun sa sinasabi nito ni Mr. Villanueva kasi early on I was checked by the chairman for taunting pero
Okay.
I submit.
May we remind all the resource persons to refrain from
I'm
saying
sorry, Mr. Chair.
offending words. Thank you so
Sorry,
much,
Mr.
everybody.
Unang-una kasi, Mr. Chair, sabi ni yung mga previous statement ni Colonel Asierto, lumabas yung pangalan ni Michael Yang according to his informant noong 2016. Samantalang yung statement ni Las Cañas kanina nung pinapanood ko, seemingly, agad alam niya si Michael Yang nung sa Dumoy. Dumoy pa lang, alam na niya na may Michael Yang. Now, Mr. Chair, for 3 months of our surveillance operation, isang team lang ang kay Colonel Asierto doon, lahat ng team sa PDEA 11. Walang anino si Las Cañas doon.
With your presentation, Senator Trillanes, no? Because while you were making the presentation, kanina ko pa gusto ma-interrupt sana kasi most of your the information that you gave were actually available already in open sources, no? Like newspaper clippings and the affidavits of persons. And in fact, it appears nga na parang you were just making a summary of everything that you found from newspaper articles to the affidavits of other resource persons. Tama po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
And the difficulty kasi in asking you questions about it is that because your statements are going to be based on either an article or the affidavit of another person. And the rule supposedly is that it's best to ask the person who executed the affidavit or the person who made the news article, 'di ba? Kasi parang maging double hearsay na tuloy yung sitwasyon ngayon, 'di ba?
Yes, Mr.
And
Chairman.
I hope you understand why I'm saying this, because in the spirit of fair play din sana, it would give the other persons who have been named in the affidavit and in the news articles also the opportunity to confront the persons who actually made the affidavit.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Sa nakita nyo po, no, since hindi naman po tayo nasa court of law, the way I presented everything, ito yung resulta ng investigation, no? When I was still in the Senate, and nagkalap kami ng intelligence information, yan, open sources, tapos insider information. Then that was very critical. before namin nakausap si Las Cañas, all of us were susceptible in embracing or swallowing the false narrative of Duterte na talagang galit siya sa droga. And the way he delivers these things, very emphatic na talagang parang kapanipaniwala na galit talaga. But then, here's an insider guy who came up with all of this information. Talagang nag-iba yung paradigm. And ang difficulty namin at that time was how to communicate this new paradigm to the general public because at that time talagang kontrolado nila yung buong communications apparatus and yun po ang difficulty.
You're referring to Art Las Cañas.
Yes, opo.
Well, the issue I have with Art Las Cañas din kasi, kasi when he first appeared before the Senate ba yun?
Yes.
He was saying a different thing. In fact, he
Yes.
was defending then President Duterte.
Mhm.
It was only a few months after where he recanted
Yeah.
and made another statement about the involvement of then President Duterte about drugs.
Opo.
And every time kasi we present a witness na parang says something and then does another thing,
Yeah.
medyo kami din ang natatamaan dyan 'di ba? Kasi it's parang coming from a tainted source. That's why I hope you understand my sentiments po because I always want to protect also the integrity of this committee. That's why I'm bringing these issues up, no? Kasi while I was listening to you kanina, it's either Art Las Cañas, Asierto, or the other newspaper articles ang basis ng ano. I was really hoping that you could have given us more concrete siguro evidence po on what actually to support the allegations made by Las Cañas. So Michael Yang and Alan Lim and sino po yung isa na
Si Charlie Tan, Sammy Uy.
Charlie Tan,
Yan
Sammy
po.
Uy. Now, si Alan Lim naman, ang relations niya with Michael Yang, where did it start ba? Saan nagsimula yung connections nila?
Apparently, since hindi alam ni Las Cañas, si Alan Lim vaguely pumupunta lang daw a few times sa Davao. So kumuha kami ng other sources of information from the whether domestic law enforcers or foreign law enforcers. Itong si Alan Lim, apparently, mas senior siya kay Michael Yang at that time. Parang junior itong si Michael Yang. Mas senior pa yung kanyang kapatid na si Tony Yang. May ano sila meron silang seniority dun sa kanilang triad. So Peter Lim is also a big player. So sa Visayas, itong si Peter Lim, si Alan Lim doon naman sa Luzon. That's the picture we got from the people we talked to. Tapos pero si Michael Yang naka-jackpot siya kasi yung connection niya with Duterte nag-pay off when he became president kaya na-elevate siya, na fast track yung kanyang promotion do sa kanyang organization. Ganun po 'yan.
Now, if you're saying na Michael Yang was using his siguro closeness with the former president to further his drug interest, why would he be content with just being economic advisor? Why not ask for a different position which would give him siguro more access to whatever he's doing, di ba? But that's a question that most people would say. Di ba kung involved siya sa drugs, bakit economic advisor lang ginawa? Wala naman niyang benefit to his business.
Ito po yung benefit nun. Unang-una, he cannot be given a regular cabinet position because he is a Chinese national. No? So, yan yon. Yung economic advisor is just a title to project to the whole bureaucracy na ano ito, malakas itong tao na ito. That's going to afford him the protection that he needs, no? Yung connection do sa network kasi binabout siya. And yung pinag-uusapan kung paano nag-pay off yung kanyang closeness, dun sa family issue, yun po, di ba, lumabas. Kahit nasa labas siya, ang dami niya nakuhang kontrata because of that connection. At hindi pa po na may mention dito yung yung kinita nila dun sa Sinovac, no? Dun sa Sinovac, based dun sa mga nakuha naming dokumento, ay ano po yan, na-overprice niya ng 2,000 pesos per vial at bumili sila ng 50 million vials. So that's 100 billion pesos, no? Yun po ang pinakamalaking racket nila na nakuha because of that connection and protection, Mr. Chairman.
Now, you also testified earlier na Sammy Uy, no, was the one who introduced Michael Yang to the president. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. President.
Now, Sammy Uy is known to be close to the president even when he was still mayor pa.
Yes.
But for not about ako, I know that it wasn't about drugs na ang association niya with the Dutertes. Paano naging biglang all of a sudden naging drugs to na angle na kung isipin natin it should have started way before kung yun man ang original intention ni Sammy Uy, di ba? Kasi he was already close to the president when the president was still mayor of Davao eh.
Yes, and it did start way before. According dun sa interview ni Las Cañas, nag-start po silang tatlo mag-engage kay Duterte noong 2001. At major campaign contributor sila noong una. Tapos, ito na nga, sabi ko nga, yung pag-profile kasi kay Las Cañas as an insider, as an inside man, it's either you will believe everything or you don't believe anything. Di ba? So, kaya nung una naming binebet ito si Las Cañas, we were validating everything. Kumbaga, ano bang motivation itong mamang ito? At I think if it's one skill set that we have is yun pong pagbe-vet, pagba-background check. So nakikita po namin yung mga motivations. And sinabi po niya ako ho, without you take out Las Cañas, pag nakita mo yung cover ni Sammy Uy, talagang maganda Maganda ho Kaso sinabi ni Las Cañas, and before that, nakuha po namin, Mr. Chairman, yung bank documents. Ando doon siya Bakit siya nagbibigay ng 40 to 50 million dun sa 5 members of the family every 6 months? Ano yun? Anong klaseng business po yan? Tapos marami pa pong eventually kung in an impeachment court, hypothetically, lalabas po yan. Kung kanino galing pumapasok po yan. At ang blunder po ni Duterte, ginawa ho niyang joint account sila ni Sara So, ano po ito? Lumabas po doon.
Pero you would agree with me, Senator, na there's nothing wrong naman in making political contributions to campaigns, di ba? I mean, a lot of businessmen do that, di ba? For as long as it is properly reported in your statements of contribution and expenditures, okay lang yan, di ba?
Okay lang po yan, Mr. Chairman, kung hindi mo alam. Kunyari ngayon, napag-uusapan na si Michael Yang as a drug lord. Would you accept a campaign contribution from Michael Yang? I don't think so.
And definitely, we have not involved anybody outside of HSOT, the team of Colonel Asierto, and my team, because this was a delicate anti-drug operation. So definitely, paano malalaman ni Las Cañas na may Michael Yang? Hindi nga niya alam na may anti-drug operation sa clandestine laboratory. Pangalawa, sir, sabi ni Mr. Trillanes, the clandestine laboratory was operating under my nose. Ibig sabihin, nagmamanufacture na ang mga in-check ng shabu na hindi ko nalalaman. Maling-mali yun, Mr. Chair. For 3 months, nag-start sila ng actual manufacture December 26. Dahil tuwing gabi, Mr. Chair, nasisilip namin yung ginagawa nila. So, noong December 29, naglalatag na, nagpapatuyo na sila ng shabu That is noong December 28. That is why on December 29, nag-apply na kami ng search warrant.
Okay, let me cut you off there, General. Sandali lang. You said the surveillance nyo sila for 3 months.
Yes,
Tama ba?
Mr. Chair.
So bakit nyo surveillance for 3 months na 26 pa sila of December nag-start production?
Mr. Chair, for 3 months, nagse-set up eh.
Ah.
Bumibili ng mga material, ng mga equipment, ise-set up ang equipment. Nung nakumpleto na lahat ang equipment and chemicals na ipasok na lahat sa Dumoy Laboratory, December 26, they start manufacturing.
Kaya nga, sir, December 31 yung raid, di ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So 3 months before that, it would be December, November, October.
It started October 26, Mr. Chair.
October, nag-start na kayo ng surveillance.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Anong isa-surveil nyo kung hindi pa sila nag-produce ng drugs at that time?
Again, Mr. Chair, nag-start kami ng surveillance December 26 dahil binigyan kami ng
No, you
information.
said 3 months before.
October 26,
Yes, sir.
dahil binigyan kami ng information ng USDEA na may paparating na Chinese chemist sa Davao City. Yun lang ang information, Mr. Chair. From the airport na sundan namin hanggang dumating sila sa Arlene apartment. And from there, doon na kami nag-start ng follow kung saan pupunta itong mga to hanggang sa natumbok namin ang Dumoy Clandestine Laboratory.
Okay, so the surveillance started because of an information given that a chemist was going to Davao.
Yes, Mr.
Not
Chair.
because they were already producing drugs at that time.
No, Mr.
Not
Chair.
because the laboratory was already set up at that time.
Yes, Mr.
But only because of the raw information that a chemist was there supposedly
Exactly,
to
Mr.
start a laboratory.
Yes, Mr.
That's
Chair.
why 3 months. Kasi minamatch ko lang di ba? Sa akin kasi, if you look at it, no, parang I hope you forgive me,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
3 months before, anong i-surveillance mo kung wala pa nga yung laboratory? And anong i-surveillance mo kung hindi pa nga sila nagpuproduce ng droga na sinasabi natin?
Yes.
Di ba? That's what led to the raid nga di ba? The production of these drugs.
Yes,
So,
Mr. Chair.
Okay,
So,
continue.
dun sa 3 months na yun, sir, nakaka-follow kami dun sa Atdaw na warehouse at dun sa Bunawan na kung saan naandun yung naandun yung air scrubber na malaki, Mr. Chair. They just started manufacturing December 26. So on the 3rd day, nag-apply na kami ng search warrant dahil nagpapatuyo na sila ng shabu. So we applied December 29. We implemented December 31. That is 5 days, Mr. Chair. So, maling-mali yung sabi ni Mr. Trillanes, no, they are already manufacturing under my nose. They are starting, they are setting up the laboratory na ando na po kami.
Okay, so sige.
Mr. Chairman,
Senator Tillanes, just let me finish my questioning with DG Villanueva. So, sir, klaruhin natin, categorical lang na questions and then a short answer also. So, hindi totoo na siguro kinover up mo ang some information to protect some of the personalities mentioned by Senator Trillanes.
Like, ano
It's not true na you protected or siguro kept information that would link Michael Yang.
wala pong Michael Yang sa laboratory, Mr. Chair.
You did not keep information that would keep information about Sami Uy being involved in drugs.
Hindi ko kilala yon, Mr. Chair.
Hindi mo kilala si Sami
Hindi
Uy
ko kilala si Sami Uy.
in Davao?
Yes, sir.
Oh, he's pretty popular in Davao,
Sa drugs ako
nasa
nakatutok,
drugs.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, but as a
Hindi ko
businessman,
kilala,
hindi mo
Mr.
kilala
Chair.
Sami Uy. Okay. Hindi mo kinontrol yung information as far as sino pa yung Charlie Tan is concerned.
Nababalitaan ko si Charlie Tan na siya yung may-ari ng EP.
KTV, yeah.
Yun lang, Mr. Chair.
But nothing that relates to the drugs.
Nothing.
Okay. So, again, Senator Trillanes, go ahead, sir.
well, una-una, yung nire-refer natin, Mr. Chairman, about all of these things operating under his nose, yung Green Heights Subdivision. Tapos yung sinasabi ni Las Cañas, wala naman siyang sinabing part siya nung team nila, no? If only nakikinig siya doon sa interview, sinasabi niya, nandito siya sa side nila Duterte, dito siya, close in siya dito, nakita niya yung laro at galaw nila Sami Uy, Charlie Tan at Michael Yang. Dito siya sa part na to, tapos binigyan siya ng mission doon sa after nung raid to turn na sila ang magre-receive nung 11 galing sa tropa niya. So that was his first encounter with this guy. Kumbaga, to clean up to cover up yung ano na nga yun, yung mess na yun kasi aabot kay Michael Yang. So doon siya, wala siya doon sa operating unit kasi part niya siya nung sindikato, Double Death Squad ni Mr. Duterte. And ito yan, Mr. Chairman. This guy, ang tagal niya sa Davao, PIDEA, eventually naging Director General siya ng PIDEA. Tanungin siya kung sino yung mga drug lord nung mga malalaking shipment. I doubt kung sasabihin niya kung sino. Ito lang yung sa mga pulis, yung 990 kilos na shabu. Tanungin siya kung sino ang mastermind nun. Wala ka makukuha ang sagot. It's either incompetence or kasabwat. And because of the testimony of Las Cañas, kasabwat, Mr. Chairman. Ganun lang po yun.